broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I'm going to be quiet for about 20 seconds. I just want you guys to know so you can listen to the beauty that is this beautiful, soulful voice. Can you sing along? Can I put you on the spot? Would you do it? Give the fans what they want, Brady! Ooh, ooh.
Are you harmonizing with yourself?
No.
That is a talent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Bachelor After Show. It is not just Kathy and I. We have a very special guest, a first-timer here to our AfterBuzz TV studios. So wherever you are in the world, if this is you're watching with us live, if you're listening on a podcast, you're driving your car, tuning in from Panama at 2:50 in the morning as somebody just tweeted us here on the chat roll, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I have two co-hosts tonight. First of all, to my right, we've been doing this for how many seasons now together?
12 at least.
12 at least! The beautiful Kathy Cupcake Kelly.
Hello.
Kathy, how are you doing?
I'm great.
I like your dress. You look
Tired.
fantastic.
Thanks.
If you guys are just listening, you got to go to YouTube and check out Kathy's dress.
It was cheap and I'm worth it. So.
And to Kathy's right, a first-timer, Mr. Brady Toops. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Yeah, it feels good to be back in LA.
Yeah, it's a short stint. It's a 2-day stint.
Really short. Passing through from Nashville to New Zealand, and decided to stay for a couple days. Played a little show tonight.
New Zealand?
You did. I was there.
I saw you.
Did you see me, or until I left?
You. No.
Because I was trying to be low
Were
key
you
on the
singing
road.
to him?
Was I
Were
singing?
you? Yeah, was it a super romantic song?
He
You
sings
were,
a lot of
making
sad
eye
songs.
contact?
Yeah, I don't try to
Or was it Danny being like, "You didn't look at me, Brady"?
I give you a little wink.
That was, in case you guys didn't catch that was Brady singing to open the show. What's the name of that song?
Bleed.
Bleed, and that's a brand new song.
Brand new song. Working on a new record right now.
Okay.
It's not out, but hopefully sometime this year.
Okay.
Nashville's the place to do it.
Jeez. And when we get to the end of the episode, I want to ask you a little more about your record, your music, where people can find you, and all of that jazz. Are you cool with that?
Awesome.
All right, to top off the show, what?
I was gonna say not to make this super awkward, but I don't know if you know this. When we were talking about your season, Danny had a little bit of a man crush.
Okay. Let's...
And by little, I mean a lot.
No, that's not what it was.
Well, we met.
Only thing it was
met.
I talked about how we met at
And
Bible
then you
study.
always talked about how great his style was.
Because he has great style. I would say that to his face. Hey, Brady, you have great style.
Thanks, my man.
You have great shoes
that
on
means
tonight.
A lot for me.
I
It
feel
means a
like
lot.
you said it with more passion.
Okay, you want me to I'll reenact
you're
how I said
blushing
it.
right now.
Well,
your
that's actually
cheeks are a little red.
No, it's actual blush because I
Oh yeah, you do the foundation and
get
everything.
greasy on
Yeah.
camera, guys. Jeez, it's hot in here. I don't actually have blush on. I do have some foundation. No, it's called
Powder.
No, it's like a matte Givenchy finish.
Powder.
It's not
matte
powder.
powder.
It's not powder.
Oh, so
It's
you
a
have
black
foundation.
I'm not gonna win this argument.
And
am
you
I?
don't have blush on, so you're blushing.
Dang it! I really just screwed myself royally, didn't I?
You're
No,
falling
here's what
hard
happened.
right now.
I was walking through Bible study, and Brady goes, "Hey, man, I like those shoes." And I was, "Do you remember this?"
I do.
And I was like, "Thanks, man. I'm Danny." And you're like, "I'm Brady."
And then
And
you
then we
guys
became
looked
best
at each
friends.
other and you fell in love. It was
Did
love,
we just become best friends?
love
We
at
did.
first shoe
We actually
sight?
did.
Yeah, and then I think I complimented your shoes, and then I think we've kind of been loosely friends ever since. When you come in LA, we hang out, grab a drink.
I
The
love it.
bromance is strong.
Yeah, and
You
I
need good bromance in your life.
you do, and I didn't
Especially when the
know.
romance isn't working
It's
out.
hard
You
with
need
a long
bromance.
distance
Yeah, hey,
relationship, though.
I'm there with you.
Hey.
Wait, that needs to be your bio on Twitter. When the romance isn't working out, you need bromance.
You could write a song about it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna stick
And
to
then
writing
sing
songs
it,
about women.
sing
I
it
don't
to
think
Danny
I'll
at your
write
next
songs about
show.
Kathy and I need to cut in on that. That's a great idea. All right, we're like 7 minutes in and we're off the rails already, as JC would say.
Aw.
Shout out to JC Rubio. We miss you.
And Miss Brooks, too.
Yeah, bruh, not so much.
Oh.
Just kidding. I love Brooks. Brooks is at Sundance. If you guys don't follow him on Snapchat or Twitter, or
Well,
the million
on Twitter,
different
he
ways.
called it, he's going to the dance.
I did see that. The dance. So Brooks is in Sundance, but he did text in and say hello to all of you guys and thank you for watching. And he said to say hello to you especially. So
what's up, my man?
You guys can have your own little bromance. Right off the top, I want to talk about this. This happened yesterday. Jade and Tanner are married.
Whoa.
How do we? Yeah.
Also, the fact that he tweeted either today or yesterday.
He tweeted this today.
That it was 1 year since he went on The Bachelorette.
1 year ago today, he was in LA for the second round of casting for The Bachelorette. And a year later,
he's married.
How crazy
to someone
is
he
that?
met on the show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, as someone who's been on the show, talked about some serious things, would you be shocked if that was your life trajectory?
Oh, super shocked. Everyone who goes on the show, it's sort of like this idea that like this could be super fun. It's just an adventure.
Yeah.
But to think that you are going to actually end up with a person, I think you're open to it, but mind-blowing that it would actually happen.
When you know, you know, you know.
You know.
That's amazing for them.
Yeah.
No, wait, they didn't get married on like Bachelor.
Well, I think
Live.
it's going to air.
I think it's going to. I think it was taped because I didn't see any pictures come out. Any of the people that were there didn't tweet anything. Our mutual friend was some people, stylists that were there.
Yeah.
And so the only little things I saw were on Snapchat, but it was never the finished product. So I think there was maybe like a memorandum on no posting on social media.
I'm glad they made it. I mean, who would have ever thought the Bachelor in Paradise
has a
actually
better
produced
success rate.
something positive in the world?
So I have a weird little tidbit. I don't even know if you're gonna like that I share this or not. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep it. I'll keep this straight.
No, everyone
You
wants to know.
cannot get
I wanna know.
offended. You cannot get offended.
Okay.
This is a super small, for all of you guys listening that are super fans, this is a very small world moment. And we'll talk about you and Britt later, but are you sure you're okay if I bring this up?
I don't even know what you're gonna bring up.
All right.
I'm nervous for you.
So you and Britt dated.
Yeah.
After you guys broke up, Britt dated another guy who's a very good friend of mine.
yeah.
I'm not going to say his name.
Friend of mine too.
That guy and Britt broke up, which is okay. They're still friends. Then he started dating someone else who is Tanner's sister. Talk about a small world moment. Sorry for flipping.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He started dating
Tanner's
sister.
This is a while ago. I hope he's not watching. I didn't even ask him permission, but whatever.
Why would that bother me?
Now 200,000 people plus are going to know
no
this,
one knows who he is. You didn't say his name.
Yeah, but
last name.
if
social
people
security
went dug
number.
into Instagram, they can find this stuff out. So I'm just how small of a world circle is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that no, that's not small because everyone in the Bachelor family is used to dating everyone in the Bachelor family.
That's a good point,
They're
Kathy.
like, no, that's just
true.
normal.
That is true.
All right, well I want to give a shout out.
But hey,
yeah.
when you have a show that picks like really awesome people, you know, like it just kind of helps weed out some others.
Great question from Rach J, by the way, in the chat roll. If you guys aren't on the chat roll, if you join us on YouTube, you can chat with us live. And someone just wrote in a question for Brady. And I want to ask this off the top because it's a great question. A few weeks ago on Bachelor Live, Chris Soules compared Olivia to Britt. Now, just so everyone knows, you are caught up on the season.
I watched it.
So people compared Olivia to Britt. As far as first impressions, that's what we're basing this on, and then getting to really know them, your thoughts on that?
See, here's the thing. I think Olivia, she's an interesting cat. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily put her in the same category as Britt.
Okay,
Here's the thing. They may have like a really great first impression, but when you get to know Britt, she's really lovely.
Is she insecure about her toes or kinkles?
No, she's not. She definitely isn't.
I've echoed the same sentiment, and I apologize to Britt to her face. I think I told you this because on our show last year, I wasn't crazy nice to her, and then I met her and got to know her, and she is one of the most fun people I have ever met in my life. And I told her to her face, I apologize and owned it because she's phenomenal.
I mean, and we've talked about this before with past contestants that we've had on, especially Courtney Robinson, where a lot of it is the edit. Or, you see what's going on TV and you're like, that's not who I am.
Well, here's the hard part. It is part of who you are, but it's also really exaggerated.
But a lot of it can be edited. Like, they can take your interviews and cut out a huge chunk. You could be like, I hate that girl, I want her to die, just kidding, I don't. And then they edit out the last, 2 lines.
Yeah.
The hard part about Britt is I think everyone was like, how can you be this positive and this happy and this expressive and have it be real.
Sure.
If you meet her in real life, you're like, this is real.
Yeah, that's who she is.
It's who she is.
So I'm just gonna ask this before we dive into the rest of this. Do you guys still talk? You guys friends?
Yeah, we're friends.
Acquaintances.
I mean,
Acquaintances.
I'll see her once in a while.
Sure. But you kind
she's-
of like back down from being close friends.
Yeah, I mean, once you date somebody and it doesn't work out, it's not like you're gonna try to
Besties.
move in.
Yeah.
But if we talked, it honestly would be like no time passed.
And you know what? After everything, you posted some really nice stuff on Instagram. Wrote some really nice paragraphs about her. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, we talked about it. You know,
Was she okay with that?
Oh, yeah,
Did you have to get them approved?
Well, I read hers, and then we both just posted. Here's the thing. She was never going to say anything negative about me. I wasn't going to say anything negative about her. And there really wasn't anything negative to say about each other. So
Amazing.
Well said.
at the end of the day, I think it was a really fun, like, beautiful time, and some of them work out, and sometimes they don't work out.
Well, let's do this. Let's jump into tonight's episode. I know people are watching from the East Coast. They're saying it's 2 a.m. Someone's watching from Slovenia, from Panama. So there's a lot of people from around the world ready for us to talk about what happened tonight. Right off the top, we see them go to the marriage capital of the world. I didn't know that, by the way. Is Vegas really the marriage?
I would assume that they have the quickest weddings and the most weddings.
They also probably have the most divorces and annulments.
Most annulments, yeah.
Yeah.
Ben did start off the episode saying, Vegas in all its glory, you can find love here. Or you do, it is a place to find love.
Yeah, it's a place you can find love.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah, I'm not
Vegas?
I'm not a big Vegas. Are you a Vegas guy, Brady?
I've only passed through.
Really? I'm not a big Vegas guy. I
That
can't
sounds
do
like
more than like a day.
I
finding
can't
love
do
in
the
a hopeless
desert.
place?
The desert kills me.
Yeah. Find love in a hopeless place?
I mean, that's a hopeless place
You
to
think-
find love.
Maybe
yeah.
that's where Rihanna wrote her song.
Yeah.
Place.
Or maybe the reason why we haven't heard them talk about finding
that was
love in
Brady.
Vegas. Or
Stop.
the reason why they haven't found love in Vegas is because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, maybe that's what, yeah. So your
The relationships
your
that are
love,
there can never leave.
it lasted one night and it will never leave. So right away we see first date card, and it goes to JoJo. I was a little surprised by this. You set my heart on fire. What do you guys think of JoJo and Ben's date?
I think she's a sleeper.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I really
so,
do.
I thought you meant she was
No,
boring. I was
no,
like,
no, no.
you're an idiot.
I think she's somebody that's going to come out of, like, nowhere.
Yeah. She has these moments, and I think we saw it last time, and there was a lot of feedback from the comments on YouTube we saw, and on Twitter as well. She has these moments where I want to be her best friend. Like, she seems so freaking awesome. And then there's one line in an episode where I'm like, you're kind of a mean girl. And I don't know what that is. Like, we'll talk about it later in the evening, but, like, there was something at the rose ceremony where I was like, why are you doing that?
Well, I just don't think she's a pushover. Which I think
I mean,
Ben
yeah,
actually
could just be very
appreciates.
confident
Yeah.
in herself.
Yeah.
Where's she from, Texas? Dallas?
Where is she
believe
from? I'd have to
so.
go back to my
Wow.
notes from the first episode. She might be a Texas girl. If you guys remember,
I can see that.
chime in on the chat roll. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I thought it was actually really funny when the helicopter came and all the girls like see them and then they hide behind the table.
Dude, how about that?
That was a smooth kiss.
Ben killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
I was like, dude.
Mission Impossible style.
That was,
that's
it was like Tom
right?
Cruise.
Literally, yeah, like that's
Da,
the
da,
romantic
da,
scene
da.
at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Do you like that?
Is that how kisses sound like that?
I don't know. We couldn't hear. The helicopter was so loud.
He has so many helicopters and dates and
Good God,
airplanes
right?
and that too. Apparently, Rachel is the only one that hasn't kissed him yet.
Wait, the one thing I think shocking about this episode was where were all the bikinis? Well, I mean, it seemed like the last few
Was
episodes.
Olivia's outfit during the group date not?
I feel like they've tried to see how many bikinis they can fit in one episode.
You would think
My
in
God,
Vegas
right?
too. Like there would be
Jeez.
some more stripping.
Oh, JoJo's from Dallas. Yeah, you're right. Called it. JoJo's from Dallas.
Olivia started. This is where we started to see her downfall, though, of when
Yeah.
they looked out the window, they saw them kissing, and Olivia.
And she like, okay, bye. Is that what she said? Was that her that said that? She's like, bye.
Yeah, she didn't even want to go over there.
No, not at all.
I actually feel bad for Olivia. She kind of got put on display this whole episode.
Thank you, Allison from Australia. She said she liked my Mission Impossible thing with the kisses. Thank you very much. I want to talk about this because once they got to the dinner, the conversation turned to this last relationship thing. And so I kind of want to bring this up as a topic of girls that have been in last relationships. You know, we saw it later with Haley and the pictures of her ex-boyfriend. We didn't get a lot of details, but we saw that in the room in Vegas, which was a little weird. So JoJo says she was dating this guy for a year and a half. They've been broken up 5 months. And Ben asks her, you know, how she feels about that. Do you think that's enough? I know it's relative to the person, but as a general rule, a lot of people say like half the time of the relationship, things like this. Do you feel like JoJo's ready?
I would say because she didn't bring it up as much on the past interactions that they've had.
Yeah.
That it wasn't as significant. Because you can tell, like, if someone's not over an ex, they will bring it up any chance they can.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good rule of thumb. I didn't get the sense like she was still mentally
I think that she wasn't in that, mentally in that relationship, but she still harbored some feelings from how it ended.
Yeah.
Of course. And the only thing that helps you actually get over a last relationship is a new relationship.
Yeah, that's
true. Get over by someone by getting under.
Oh my god! In case you guys missed that through the laughter, you said one more time.
Nope. There was one time only.
Get over someone by getting under someone.
It's a phrase.
From where?
From so many romantic comedies.
I've never heard that in my life.
Probably like Sex in the City or something.
If anybody has actually heard that somewhere, please tell us where, because I've never heard. But it gets funny.
I thought you were going to say it's true.
My mom listens to this sometimes, and I have friends listening. Anyways. Hi, Allison from Canada. But she was saying hi to somebody else in Australia. I just want to clarify. We have people from all the world that are getting... I just want to make sure we say hi to the right people. By the way, I want to say this now, because I know Kathy and I talked about this before the show. You guys are so fantastic at telling us where you're from. I love this. I got Snapchats from all around the world this week.
Did you get one from Finland this week?
I did. Well, hold on. I favorited all of them because I want to give these people shout-outs, by the way. There's a few of you, like, specifically. First of all, Esther.Dada93. Not sure how I've been missing out on this after show, but I'll be tuning in every week. She didn't say where she's from. Where is Aziza? I got home and she was like, hey, I'm in Dubai. It's 3 p.m. We love your show. Thanks so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, from Dubai.
I feel like some of these places don't even get the episodes yet. So
I know, this is crazy. Aza Abdullah, loving the after show lately, watching from the UK with a little golfer emoji. Love that. How'd you know I was a golfer?
Maija, Snapchatting right now, too.
Brady is Snapchatting right now. Maija said Finland. Looks amazing. Yeah, she's watching from Finland. I love that.
That's
and then
so cool.
I got another one, and this is you guys won't be able to see this, but she said greetings from Slovenia, and like wrote it out, and she complimented my nephew who was on my Snapchat this weekend. I was in Nebraska for about 12 hours.
Dude, can I confess something?
Please.
I have no idea how to use Snapchat.
Really? I follow. You're not a bad Snapchatter.
Dude, I feel like a first grader.
I mean, you're doing it right so far.
I mean, yeah, it looks like you're doing
great.
Hands
on the right button. You posted it.
Brady Toops.
And where can people follow you at Snapchat, by the way?
My last name is Toops.
Yep.
It's like oops, but with a T.
Oops, with a T.
First name is Brady.
Can I confess something?
I don't even know how you follow people.
I used to think you were Troops. Like when we first exchanged numbers, I put you in my phone as Brady Troops.
Yeah.
My bad.
No worries.
Okay. So, by the way, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Continue to Snapchat us. We love knowing where you guys are watching from and what your thoughts are. And mine's public, so you can send me things like that.
Things.
Just being honest.
I'm public too. But you can go to iTunes too and rate us and comment and let us know what you like. Let us know what we can improve on, and that helps the show just improve and get out to more people.
Yeah, absolutely. People are asking what's your Snapchat, Kathy?
Oh, Kathy has no K.
Kathy has no K. And yours is Brady Toops. Mm-hmm. Mine's Danny Hoyt 47. Love from Vietnam from Pink Blue. Thank you. Okay, so chat roll, thank you guys. I love you. We're going to get back to the dates here. So now let's talk about this group date. The card comes. Any other thoughts?
Can we still talk about JoJo?
Yeah, any other thoughts?
There seemed like a palpable chemistry between them. Even after they were kissing, he was like nuzzling his head into her neck, and that's not something that he does with a lot of the girls.
Yeah, that's right. We've talked about his body language is his tell.
Yeah, it's true.
He's very good at talking, and making the girls feel confident and comfortable. But when it comes to actual body language, when he's into a girl, he's not leaning back and being like, oh yeah, you're beautiful, I love you, you're great here. He's all in. Yeah,
that's very true. Brady, have you noticed, because this is the first time we've gotten to talk about this, have you noticed his body language tells?
A little bit. So the thing about Ben that I noticed is that when he isn't totally into somebody, he seems very self-aware. He's very okay, how am I responding? How am I looking? How am I...
So he's a bad liar.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a horrible liar.
So he's a bad poker player.
But do you remember one of the first conversations he had with Lauren B? He was so into her.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
oh my God, yeah, he was mesmerized.
He forgot that cameras were there.
Oh, completely forgot.
I think
that's a telltale sign.
Did you ever have moments where you forget cameras are there? Is that hard to do?
Well, you didn't
Really
have them
hard.
around 24/7.
No. So mostly Britt and I dated off the show, but the times that we were on the show, the great thing about Britt is that she's done it before. So she's like really comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So it was hard at times, but being around her was pretty easy.
Interesting.
But it's hard because you realize everything that I say or possibly say can get misconstrued or can be edited or can make me. I just have to be really careful. So you want to be most authentically yourself, but you also kind of want to be the best version of yourself, which is really hard to be on all the time.
So you're telling me if Ben got to a moment where he forgot they're watching, that's a huge deal.
Huge deal.
And I feel like a lot of these girls and guys who are on the show and have the cameras around them 24/7, after a while you start to get immune to it.
Yeah.
And especially when there's alcohol involved or you're sleep deprived or whatever that is, and there's much more competition because it was just you guys having a relationship.
Yep. I think I was the luckiest one.
Didn't have to deal with any of that.
When you walked out of the rose ceremony, I was like, oh, well, big gulps, huh? I'll see you later.
But yeah, that adds to, like, people kind of get lost in where they are. It just seems like they become friends with the producers and they're talking to their friends and then something slips.
But that's when it gets dangerous.
But that's them. They're actually saying that.
Before we move on to the group date, I have to give one more shout out because this family is watching from Santa Ana, California. The Hahn family. I want to say hello to the Hahn family. Ellie Hahn is watching.
You're like Oprah with those shout outs.
I know. I can't give everyone a shout out, but they are watching and they're super fans. They're crazy.
Did you guys watch
fans.
I showed it to you, the SNL spoof on The Bachelor tonight?
Oh my gosh, Kathy told me it's so funny.
It was hilarious, and it was a lot of the girls
with Ronda Rousey and Selena Gomez
from this past season.
Yeah.
Cecily Strong tweeted out a picture of how everyone compares her and Lace as far as like looking alike. So I think that's where the little sketch came from, but it was really funny.
Okay, any other thoughts before we go to group date?
Oh, just the one line from the SNL thing, that's why I brought it up, was they say, this isn't me, this isn't how I'm like.
This is exactly what you're
they're like, well, this is exactly what I'm like, but I don't want to show you that yet.
Amazing. Okay, group date. We get the card. Amanda, Jubilee, Kayla, Lauren B, Amber, Haley, Emily, Leah, Lauren H, Jennifer, Rachel, Olivia. The only name on the card is Becca, who then found out that she got the one-on-one. But the card for the group date. The ladies get to go. I don't remember what it said. I thought I wrote it down, but I don't see it here. But the ladies get to go basically be on the show with Terry Fator. Did you guys know who Terry Fator was before the show?
I had seen one of his stand-up things. I think it's on Netflix, right? Or is that someone else? That
he's
puppets too.
He's been doing this for years. He's one of the best ventriloquists in the world. That's why he's got a Vegas show.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is he impersonates these singers very well, like flawlessly through a puppet. So it's like 2 layers of impressive.
I think I'm thinking of Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan's amazing. He's got a book out.
He has puppets too?
He doesn't do puppets. He does more like clean humor.
Who's the one with puppets that's a comedian?
I don't remember.
Maybe the chat roll knows.
But the ladies basically get to open up for 1,200 people at the Terry Fator show. I thought this could have been better. It was basically just an excuse to do a talent show, which they do almost every season.
It's because they don't want to do another comedy thing. Like, they always have people...
God, that comedy thing was so good last season, though.
I like the roast, too.
It was amazing. I would love to see more of that.
About it. The personality of Ben H compared to the personality of Caitlyn, like, I think they had a freedom to do a bit more risky things than they did with Ben. Because Ben's not attracted to, like, things that, like... like tear people down. Like, he's always like really careful and really like integrous and honest. And
I would like to see something more. I don't feel like that showed really a lot about the girl's personality. Like Lauren H, for example, she kept saying, "I have no talent. I have no talent. What am I gonna do? I need a talent." So she's doing something that she just made up on the spot.
But that
not
showed
really
her personality.
But it's not really indicative of her. I didn't feel like.
She went up there in a chicken outfit. Like, that's
sure.
Like, if you think about it, that does show your personality. You're willing to be goofy as opposed to trying to be sexy.
First grade, third grade teacher, something like that.
Yeah, kindergarten.
I ran into Lauren H one time.
Did you?
In Nashville.
And what was that like?
I'm at this. I'm out on Broadway, which is sort of where the honky tonk bars are, and she walks up these stairs and she looks at me and she goes, "I need to talk to you for a second."
Was she gonna try to get like counsel?
Super bold, like super bold. No idea who she was.
Oh, because she hadn't aired
She goes,
yet.
"I know who you are." I said, she goes, "I watched the show." I'm actually in the top 50. Like, I'm auditioning for the show. She goes, I need to ask you about it. Like, should I do it? Everything. Like, it was. Wow.
What advice did you give her?
I just was like, if you want a nice, simple, quiet life,
Don't do it.
definitely don't do the show.
Wow.
That was another thing from the SNL skit. Is they're like, well, after the show, I'm gonna do what is it?
Club appearances till I die.
Club appearances till I die.
That was so amazing.
Yeah.
You guys have to go watch that. That was great. Somebody corrected us. Terry Fader won America's Got Talent. That's right. He was the guy who won season or 2 ago. But
Jeff Dunham was the puppet guy.
Jeff Dunham. Thank you, Mark. By the way, shout out to Mark, who's an amazing engineer back in the booth.
Oh, Danny, please.
Oh, Mark.
We're talking about a bromance now, please.
It's a 3-way bromance.
Hey.
And a 1-2. Okay. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Olivia.
Jubilee playing cello because that was incredible. Hidden talent.
And the twins doing their Irish
Which we'd
jig.
seen a little bit of before.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that. We didn't see any of the twins' Irish jig. I wonder how many twin things they have had to do in their life. I mean, I guess we're not going to find out anymore, but like the Irish jig, they were on the treadmill. They talked about all the different things they used to do.
Funny.
I wonder if
They set that up specifically for this episode because they were going to separate them.
But they kind of seem like they were into doing things together. Like they don't care.
That's probably true.
I feel like if I was a twin, I'd get over it. By like 10 years old,
I'm
like,
actually a triplet.
stop it. Mm-hmm. No, you're not.
But they're not
Triplet.
identical.
Not identical.
You are not a triplet.
I am.
He's like
There's
thinking
two
about it.
boys
What
and
are
a
their
girl.
names right now?
Ricky, Bobby, Ben.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting. Say it again.
It's
Ricky, Bobby, Benny, Davey.
It's Mickey and Casey. So
Mickey
Mickey, Casey, Brady. I'm the oldest. My sister Mickey's the second oldest.
By how many minutes?
60 seconds, actually.
Whoa! It was just like, here's one. Somebody hold this.
And then-
Here's another one.
C-section, so you know they can do that.
Yep.
And then,
We don't get into specifics. That's not this show.
then my brother Casey, he came out last, like 26 seconds later.
Wow.
Yeah.
The doctor was like,
Anyway.
I got the first
Yeah,
one.
the doctor got improved on their second rate. I like that.
But I don't understand the identical twin thing.
Why?
I think it because we weren't identical. So, but the identical thing, they shared an egg. You know, like there's this like they're part of each other. They're kind of like flesh of their flesh.
Do you think there's
know?
an internal connect that's deeper because of that?
100%.
Like a biological?
100%.
I think there's also like a lot of issues, and I've heard this from identical twins in the past,
Yeah.
is they start comparing themselves to the other twin a lot of the time, especially in
That's
relationships. Like if they have the same type that they're into, and in this case, like it's on television. They both
Yeah.
are into the same guy, and then he picks one of them. That's got to bring out your biggest insecurities. He didn't even really give an explanation for, I'm just looking for someone who's more outgoing, or
Yeah.
I didn't get as much from you yet, so like it was harder to connect.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to connect, period, on a group date with so many people. A lot of people are saying this. There's just like way too many people on the group dates. A lot of people are saying on the chat roll that they would watch a whole show of one-on-ones. I would actually love to see like 3 or 4 one-on-ones one night, no group dates. Sorry, like other girls hang out in Mexico.
The last couple episodes. Of
Sure.
the season. It's always this
Still.
is how it is every single season. The first couple episodes, it's kind of a cluster F of group dates and whatever.
Yeah.
And it gets better.
I don't know.
But
Atomic.
here's the great thing about the show,
What?
specifically with the twins. Everybody knows that situation is going to be a train wreck.
Oh, sure.
But it's like a slow motion train wreck.
You're like watching it in slow motion.
Oh god! And
Had
then
he
body
kissed both of them?
parts start flying. Like things start crunching.
Yeah.
Glass everywhere.
That's why her finger was wrapped up.
Yeah, that's
Meant to
I saw
reattach
Eric Stone Street, Cam from Modern Family tweeted that, and I laughed really. He said the only way I can tell them apart is the splint on Emily's hand.
That's what Chris Harrison said as well. He
Wait,
said
what
that on
happened?
Bachelor Live.
They never addressed it. I don't know what
I thought
happened.
it was during the soccer game.
So Elon Gale, one of the
Yeah.
producers, who's a friend of
He's a
mine,
fantastic follow.
He's great. He tweeted. He said the only reason that we could tell them apart is we broke one of her thumbs. So
Did she like?
it was a joke, but
She got a rose, and
broke
then
her-
she
we broke her thumb.
she
They're like,
put
"You're
her
staying?"
finger into a thorn and just needed a hefty bandage.
A hefty splint for a
Like,
little thorn poke.
Yeah. Wouldn't stop bleeding.
Yeah, you know what? I wanted to find this comment on here. Basically, people are talking about that the twin Atomic 1107 said their occupation was twin. So what else did we expect? I mean, I didn't really expect either of these two to go far, but let's talk about. Let's move on from the group date because. Well, no, I want to talk about the conversations at the end of the group date because there were some important ones.
I didn't think that they would go far together. Like there needed to be that separation because obviously, like he's not gonna want to put out that weird creepy vibe of, oh, he's making out with both twins, like he can't choose. Like,
Yeah,
that would be weird.
But he did kiss both of them, because there was a girl tonight, I believe it was Rachel, who said I'm the only one who didn't kiss him on her exit later on.
It's true.
Dun, dun, dun. So they both did kiss him. They'll share that forever. I wonder how many of those they've had in their life.
Unless it's one of those, I'm literally the only girl that didn't kiss him, and it's just a figurative thing.
But Ben actually did something really beautiful, I think, in letting one of them go. I know that was really hard, but waiting any longer would have been way worse.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that was a producer thing, because they were in Las Vegas and that's where the twins are from, that happened that week. It might have happened the following week, or he would have figured it out and it didn't happen on a date.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we get to that, though, I want to talk about the end of the group date, because there were some conversations, and even like Olivia, we didn't talk about this. She popped out of the cake and then felt super awkward. She was super confident. You love cake, and that was not it for you? Didn't do it for you? And then she goes back and has an immediate panic attack.
She didn't own it. That was the problem, and that's what Ben kept on trying to reassure her about, is be confident in that.
Yeah.
Like, I love like girls that are dorks or whatever. Like, I don't care about that. It's just like, own it, be confident in it. Because a lot of the other girls made fools of themselves in front of 1,200 people, but they knew it and they laughed it off. And I think that that's a good quality in any human being. Like,
it's hard because remember Lace and like how she sort of went down her.
Yes.
I feel like Olivia is like following exactly what
Lace
Lace
2.0. I'm not like this.
Do you think we see Olivia stick around for many more weeks?
No, I think she's gone.
If she's gone, like, where does the drama come from?
She's definitely shooting herself in the foot. slowly.
Jubilee.
You think? No, we'll get to that. Okay. All right, a little foreshadowing for what's to come. So, yeah, and can we talk about Lauren H. and Ben when she kisses the puppet? Was that weird, or would that make you laugh? If you're like Brady, if you're sitting there,
I thought it was endearing. I thought it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
That was so uncomfortable.
it was uncomfortable for me. I was kind of like, what
Mostly
are you doing?
not her. Actually, I think that Ben made it uncomfortable because he was like, kiss the puppet. And then like she kissed the puppet and then he went in for the kiss and then he's just like, I guess I like it better. And then what was like he asked the puppet, he made the puppet ask her if like they could sleep together or something.
Yeah,
like,
and you and I looked at each other like, what?
Did we just hear the same thing?
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah, and then they get to basically, I didn't like this thing. I want to talk about this, that Olivia interrupts twice in the conversation. So I want to talk about like code of conduct. She had already talked to him. They didn't kiss.
Well, Olivia...
Yeah, but she said she said the first time we've talked and not kissed. Body language is off. She was off. She leaves and goes back 3 minutes after somebody had already been talking to them. The girls noticed it too, and they were pissed.
I understand if you're in that situation and you have very strong feelings and a conversation doesn't go well, especially if you hadn't kissed him that night and you have done that in the past, it would be kind of awkward.
Like you're taking a step back.
Yeah, you're taking a step back. And she said that she wanted to make progress. I think that all of the girls want to make progress anytime they see him. I think it was disrespectful to go back that early. She should have waited towards the end of the night when everyone had gotten their time. And they even said, like the girls mentioned, if you wait until later in the night to get your time, you end up getting longer amounts of time because girls aren't so quick to interrupt.
It's hard because there is a bit of like an unwritten rule where you have to give people, like you really do have to give them time. Like,
yeah, it's like the underlying, like
exactly.
We all get
it's
it.
Like, okay, this is the bro code or like whatever, the sister code. Like, okay, like yes. And I remember the first night, me talking to people going, hey man, you have to go. Like you have to get your time in. Like,
really? Like trying to like help people?
Yes. Because if you don't, you're gone. You're gone.
That's so interesting.
So in one sense, like Olivia, yeah, she's being bold, like she's going up what she wants, but she's kind of breaking the sister code a little bit.
I want to talk about another conversation when we got to kind of move this along, but Lauren B said she was talking about how she didn't know how to navigate these feelings and what to do, and I loved Ben's response to this. He goes, how can I help this out? Mm-hmm. He goes, how can I make you feel, what can I do to help this situation out? And I love that.
Stop kissing so many times.
But that said to me, he is way into like, what can I, basically like asking her, you tell me what to do and I'll do it. Is that what you guys got from that?
I mean, he said, why do you feel insecure about this? Like, what can I do to make you feel more like understanding that? He didn't say like, this is it, but...
I mean, obviously that was the right question or the right conversation because she got the group date rose.
And she did it in a very good way where she was respectful about it. And I think a couple girls approached him about the same thing of, you know, they feel scared with their feelings. But this one, I don't know whether it's the music that's playing below it or the edit or something, but she came off in a right way where she was like, I care about you and I'm scared to fall for you.
Yeah.
Because there are other girls.
We can tell that she's confident in herself.
Yeah.
You can tell that she actually is like, okay, I have self-worth. Like, I know I am. Like,
she knows what she wants.
She's a catch.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know what Ben 100% thinks.
Yeah, when
he can't fully like open up yet.
But
because if he was like, no, you're the one, then the show's over, like halfway through.
But he has to give little signals, and then you have people that overread little signals, like Olivia, who are like, I know what he's giving me, reassuring me with little things.
I think the signals are the roses.
Yeah, that's your signal. Okay, so let's move on. Becca's. She gets the card. It says, get dressed. It's a big day, with a knock at the door and a box with a wedding dress in it. That was pretty awesome. And she comes out looking stunning, by the way.
Before we get into that, I just wanted to say, going back to Ben and Kayla on that group date, because there was a lot of chemistry between them.
Yeah, he grabbed her and kissed her on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like, roped her in.
He even said, he's just like, there's a quiet confidence to you, and I really like it. Like, at first meeting you, you seem very shy. Yeah. But then he called her a sex panther.
Yeah, he called her a sex panther and a tigress, I believe it was. I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, he goes, like a tigress, a sex panther.
It's like, I want to maul her face.
I like that little,
but it looked
that
like
little Anchorman reference. I applaud Ben for that. That was good. It's a way to my heart. Or just compliment my
quoting
shoes.
Movies.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. So Becca, she gets in the wedding dress, and they have this whole conversation. It looks like he's gonna propose, and he says, will you help me marry other people? I thought that was actually pretty funny. I know it's probably a producer line, right, Brady?
Yeah, definitely.
But that was funny.
The fact that he got ordained was hilarious.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, went online and did it.
And
probably
then he being nervous
like probably 2 minutes.
Yeah, the United Life
I think
Church.
It takes a little bit longer than that.
Yeah. But I thought this was cool. I don't think they got to interact a ton because they were doing it for other people, but it was fun for them to see, like, a little bit of, I don't know, that side of each other.
During this, I mean, Becca was incredible during this, just because of, you could tell how nervous she was at first when Ben got down on one knee. When some of the other girls, probably not knowing him that well, would have been like, yes, I'll marry you, like, before he even gets to it. But the beginning part of the date, until they were just on their own, it felt like every time they were touching or kissing, it felt like two friends doing it, not like two people that are romantically
Did you get that vibe too?
Each other.
I don't know.
It was like quick pecks, and then she always had her arm or her hand on his arm, but like he wasn't really doing anything.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then later in the date is when I was like, oh, okay, maybe there is something there. But at the beginning, I was like, this doesn't seem right.
You know, when I found out Becca was going to be on the show again, I just went, Becca, what are you doing? And now I'm actually rooting for her.
Yeah, she's in my Final Four.
It makes sense why she did the show.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for why she did the show, but I don't know if she's in my Final Four after tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that. I do want to talk about the conversation they had at the end, because Ben asks a great question. He talks about, obviously, like, her faith and the reason she's a virgin, and then that he's not, and he announced it on last season and apologized to his mom live on the air, or not live, but on the episode.
That was a great question.
But his question he asked her is, he says, what do you think about, what are your feelings about me not being a virgin? That's a real question. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that, whether the cameras are there or not, but I love that we got to see that.
Discuss, yeah.
Yeah, and it's important because that's such a big part of of Becca's faith and her belief system. And he said he has a similar belief system, which I thought was cool. It was like talking about some more common ground that they have. Do you guys see that as a turning point for them, or?
I mean, it's definitely a serious conversation to have.
Yeah,
I think it'll be the reason why she stays as long as she does, probably.
Ooh, Danielle Heggie says she also got friend vibes from Becca's date. People are agreeing. I didn't see that
because Becca just doesn't open up as quickly. Honestly, I think she's trying.
Yeah, Patience says that she agrees Ben and Becca don't have enough chemistry together.
Wow.
Fantasy Stats Guru says, yeah, more friendly, but they did have a good, genuine conversation. They did. Also, Fantasy Stats Guru had a great line. He said, yeah, she did virgin in the headlights. I would modify it and say virgin in the neon lights. Because they were...
Okay, so with their relationship, I always like to compare these relationships to what I would think they would be outside of a show like this.
Yeah.
And I think that Ben and Becca are people that if they were both my friends, I'd be like, yeah, they would make a cute couple. Like, let me set them up. And they would date for like a month, maybe 2 months. And then before it got like serious, they'd be like, one of them would be like, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
like,
I guess
That's the vibe
Makes
that I get.
sense.
I don't see forever with them. I see them as like, oh, this has potential, but I don't really see that being like them getting married.
Okay. Any other thoughts on this? They kiss a lot. She gets the rose. Obviously, they make some cute vows to each other, which was great. Anything else on this before we move on to the special date?
Well, I was going to say that this could be the first Bachelor season that had 2 successful couples or multiple successful couples because of how many people were married on the show. So, if all of those relationships last.
That's true.
They're batting like...
Technically,
Yeah.
they're batting like whatever. There's like 600%. I think it showed 6 or 7 of them.
Better than Bachelor in Paradise.
The special date, he goes basically to the twins' house. We talked about this a little bit, but any other thoughts on this? It was really beautiful that he took the twins to their house. For those of you, there's a few people that haven't seen the episode, and this is kind of how they live through the episode, but he takes Emily and Haley to their house, being from Vegas, talks to their mom, who lets us in some great insight that Emily is really the one with the big personality, and Haley's kind of the closed-off one. We did see the ex-boyfriend pictures. Was that not so weird?
It was a little awkward.
Wouldn't the mom take them down if they're like, hey, cameras are coming to your house tomorrow with Ben? Like, let me clean up her
Probably
room.
didn't
Yeah,
think
but
about
this could be
that.
a producer thing too. Leave him up.
There
We're
was a
gonna get
bra
shots. We're
on her
getting shots.
little jacket hanger thing in public.
Well, okay, so do they live there now, or is it like...
It's her old room.
her old room. Okay, so maybe it was like something from high school or college, and
Yeah.
she hadn't gone back. Like I still have CDs like in my house that my mom wants me to clean out that are just in my room. Like
That's
stacks
true.
Of them.
So maybe she was in a long relationship with this guy, and they had pictures up because it was a long thing, and it
Yeah.
just never gotten taken.
Like maybe it was all of college, and then
that's
after
fair.
college, she moved straight into her own place and never got to do it somewhere else. What?
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna. Allison from Canada just said something really funny.
Uh-oh.
Should I read it?
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Mark's on it.
Oh no, you want me to read it if you don't want to read it, Danny?
No,
Yeah,
you read it,
someone
Mark. Go
read
for
it.
it.
All right, who was the user again?
Allison L. It was like 5 things ago on the chat roll.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I think Brady likes Kathy. We see you looking at her.
Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Amazing! I'm just teasing. We just wanted to
I
make
feel
it
like he
awkward.
like-
likes
I was
Danny
just
more
teasing.
than he likes me. So.
Yo, easy. Let's don't start any rumors.
I was season 1. I was season 1. You're Bachelor in Paradise. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's go on to the cocktail party. Off the top, someone who we haven't seen a lot of, Jen, steals him. Okay, when Jen stole him, did you guys feel like that was too aggressive?
No.
No, I love Jen's move.
If it would have been anyone but Olivia, I'm okay with it. If it would have been Olivia, instantly I would have been like, God, girl, sit down.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's kind of earned that. But I kind of love that Jen was like, get in there.
Yeah.
It got her a rose.
It did.
Essentially, I would think that got her a rose because we didn't see much of her.
I liked how she said that she was super nervous before,
Mm-hmm.
and she had planned it out like earlier in the day that she wanted to be that aggressive, but then went into it and explained to him, you know, I'm usually not this way,
Yeah.
but I feel like I have to be in this situation.
Yeah. And then Olivia jumps in after that is where she says she's falling for him. She uses those words.
She's desperate.
Eef. And then after she leaves her ITM, she goes, I heard his message loud and clear because he couldn't give it to me. I did not see any message. That's so weird to
There
me.
wasn't a message. And then also, I feel like he was trying to make her feel more confident, and instead of being like, you're right, like, listening to what he was saying and being
Yeah.
like, oh, the guy that I'm falling for is telling me that he's really into me, and like not to be worried about or not to feel insecure. You should listen to him. Like, listen to what he's telling you, as opposed to, no, I still don't feel great about it. Like, that's just fishing for compliments at that point.
Yeah, that was just weird. Kayla, they have a big romantic kiss again. Jubilee, I thought this was interesting because we didn't see much of Jubilee tonight. And she was talking about that she's, just kind of having these insecurities.
Yeah.
And he stops her, interrupts her, but tastefully, and he says, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're funny. Kathy, do you see that as a genuine reassurance of their relationship?
Definitely. Although his body language, he was leaning
They were
back.
they were a little far apart. I did notice that.
And then there was an awkward, like, hug where, like, his face was, like, on her shoulder.
It almost felt like she was like this scared little 9-year-old girl and like snuggling up to her dad.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess we will see.
They have a lot of awkward moments, and like, while I think it's okay to have like an awkward moment, like maybe you're kissing and like your teeth hit or something, but like you laugh about it. It's not like awkward, and then you both are like,
like when he was kissing
I don't do it again.
Lauren Bean, he farted in the hot tub. That was so Freaking funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on the cocktail party? Oh, somebody mentioned this in the chat room, but it was awkward when JoJo and Olivia were talking. And JoJo was like, "What did you do? What did you say?" And there was a long pause, and Olivia's like, "I just looked at him straight in the eye." Like, wasn't that weird?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is that's the part where I thought JoJo was being a little mean girl. Is because Olivia walks back and she goes, "How did it go?" Like the
I don't
way
know.
that
Maybe she was just interested.
It was just the way she said it. I was like, that's kind of combative. And
Yeah, but
and then it
remember-
seemed like they were one-upping each other too. Of, oh, well, I told him I was falling in love with him. Well, I wouldn't tell someone that after I've only spent that much time with them. Well, I am, and he reciprocated. And she's like,
Yeah, that was weird.
You remember when Whitney did that though in Chris Soul's season? She kind of had that like same like kind of aggressive thing.
Yeah,
In the end,
she was
won.
like a little poke
and
there.
I think that like
That's true.
JoJo, even though a couple of these things could be taken as mean girl, and that's why I don't want to believe it, I feel like she's just very like mama bear, like protective of other people too.
Interesting. Okay, so we got to move through this rose ceremony real quick because I want to talk about.
Can I say one more thing?
Yep.
With everything that Ben was reassuring Jubilee about, I want her to believe that, like, just as much as Ben, like, keeps on reassuring her that, like, she's so smart, she's beautiful, she served our country. Like, I don't understand. And we listened to another podcast this past week of, like, she could get a lot of guys. Like, why is she not confident in that?
Yeah, I think once Olivia's gone, it'll change that dynamic a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
haven't seen much tension between those two anymore.
Not between those two, but there's an overarching, like, there's two, you had to pick two big personalities in the house, it's those two right now.
I was going to say Amber was mean girl in a couple things. So, like, her not being, and she's very vocal about it too.
Yeah.
Where she tried to confront Jubilee at one point, and she's said things behind other girls' backs, especially Olivia. Now that she's gone, maybe some of the other girls might feel more comfortable.
Yeah, you might be right. I guess we'll see. So we have the rose ceremony. Ben says, "I do believe my wife is standing here." First rose, Amanda, which we will see a lot of next week. We saw a little preview of that. I'm very excited. Yeah, I know, finally. I'm very excited.
This episode.
Next was Lauren H. I don't know if we see her around much longer. You guys think?
She said that soccer mom comment last week.
Yeah, I want to get to
really
that because
me.
there was we had a big thing on our YouTube about that. We didn't talk about that last week, so I want to get to that in just a second. Jubilee gets a rose, and then Emily, the twin, we already knew she'd get one. JoJo, Kayla, no surprise there. Jennifer, we saw that she did initiate the conversation, so thought that would probably happen. Leah, who we still haven't seen a lot of, Leah Block from Denver, who I like.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, she's awesome. And then last rose, Olivia. You surprised? You think it was producer? Like,
I mean, she may have got the last rose, she may not have.
yeah, it's true.
She said it's a sign that Ben's trying to tell me he's saving the best for last.
Yeah, that's right. She did say
I mean,
that.
like, she's seeing everything through those rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. And then sends home Amber
attitude.
and Rachel.
Which kind of no surprise.
Yeah, it wasn't a big surprise.
It was a surprise to Amber.
Well, it's a surprise to Amber, but all of us, when it was Rachel, sorry, Rachel, if you're watching this, but we all looked at each other and go, "What's her name again?"
I said it. I knew it.
You did call it, but like all of us looked at each other and went, "What's her name
She
again?"
seems
I
great.
want
She
her
seems
dress
really great.
too. The dress she was
she
wearing.
seems great. She looks super
Stunning.
beautiful. I just mean, we didn't get a lot of her. I didn't know who she was.
I don't think Ben did either.
Yeah, well, there we go. Next week, Viva Mexico.
Why was Amber crying that much too?
Because it's second time. You invest even more of your heart. Yeah. I think it's it's on the
But
humiliating.
that's on you. Like, now you know what you're going up against. So, like, I don't see that as an excuse. She was, like, bawling. I don't know. Like,
I think
it's
I don't think
too
it's
soon.
Ben.
It's so too soon.
I
to,
think
like,
it's a tell of what's more going on deeper inside her. Of like, hey, I'm gonna put myself out here one time because I really do want to take a risk and find someone. If it takes this show,
if she's crying for not finding her person yet, then that's one thing. But it looked like she was crying because she really wanted to marry Ben, and she was upset with that. That looks like more temper tantrumy, and like you're not actually thinking about what the other person wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think she had stronger feelings for Ben than she had for Chris.
I would too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. So next week, Viva Mexico.
She also had strong feelings for like 6 guys on Bachelor in Paradise.
We hear Ben in a voiceover say this person is
No.
fully wife material. We don't know about who, but he says that next week about somebody. Lauren B in a ITM says she could see life with them. Olivia says Amanda is like an episode of Teen Mom. That is gonna cause a firestorm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens with that. Because if she really says that in the context they make it look like, I'm gonna be pissed.
Just the unraveling of Olivia. I think it's time.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
Ben's seen a couple things, like he's kind of catching on, but
well, and
not
they
to this
address
extent.
it to him next week. At least 2 girls.
I think Amanda's worried about next week's episode.
Really? What do you mean?
Maybe just some insider info that I found out.
Really? Like personally, she's worried about what it's gonna look like on air.
She was pretty comfortable, I think, with most of her experience, but I think next week she might be just a little bit like, we'll see how this comes across.
Is it because
shoot.
she feels attacked or because of the way she speaks up about it?
We'll have to see.
If she's even remotely attacked,
tease.
I know it can probably be hurtful for her, but I don't see how anyone would side with somebody other than her if she's attacked and has kids. People are always going to side with especially when she's a mom. But like when you're unjustly attacked for something you didn't do.
I would say it's probably because she seems like a sweetheart and she's worried that like even just sticking
Yeah.
up for herself makes her look like she's attacking someone else, but she's not. That's what I would predict, at least.
Interesting.
What did you think?
We'll see.
You're like, I know.
And I do want to address some of the YouTube comments real quick before we wrap up. But there was a big thing that was said last week. Lauren H. said about Jubilee that she wouldn't fit in with other soccer moms. Do you remember this comment? And it was a big thing. Betsy Hess brought this up and asked us if we would please talk about it. And I apologize that we forgot to talk about it last week because that is a huge deal. And that's making a huge assumption, that Ben, would want to be with a soccer mom. He never used those words.
No.
And 2, her point was that Jubilee couldn't be a soccer mom. Why couldn't she be?
She couldn't fit in with the other soccer moms.
Yeah, that's wrong on multiple levels. And those are the kind of things where I said earlier why I think Lauren H. may not be around much longer. Because she's had a couple of those. Brady, what are your thoughts on...
I don't think she's totally shown herself yet. You know what I'm saying? Like Olivia has. Lauren H. is she's more composed as a...
So you think we're going to see more?
Yeah, I think she'll be... I don't think she's gone anytime soon.
Oh.
Yeah, any other thoughts you want to share on that comment, that whole thing? It was just that was a big tell for Lauren H.'s where she stands, what she's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, we didn't talk about how Olivia started talking about herself after Ben had the comment about the deaths. Like, he had the deaths close to his family.
We did talk about it. We just didn't talk about it in depth because we only have an hour for the show.
And obviously, that was not okay. So,
Olivia, if you're watching, I would say read the book, The Power of Now. It'll help you a lot.
That is a great... I've only read a little bit, but that is a great book.
What's it about?
It's about stepping outside of the rat race that you find yourself in and becoming a watchful observer and becoming aware of like...
It's like the idea of like
being
raising
present.
yourself up and having a different perspective.
Caring about other people.
She seems to always loop
Be in here.
this like insecure like mind looping like, I gotta say this, I gotta say this.
I do though. I will a little bit on her defense. Being in the world that we're in of hosting and being in front of camera, you're always thinking about what do I look, how am I standing, how are people receiving my body language, what am I saying, my voice
really
tone.
hard.
Are
It's
all of
very
the
hard.
people on TV not doing that? They're all on television right now and thinking the same exact things.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse, but I'm saying I can get that sometimes I'll get wrapped up in my own head where I'm like, I got to take a step back and be like, I know who I am. Yeah. I'm Danny Hoyt. I'm confident in who I am and what I'm about.
They say when you overthink, it's actually a sign that you're really smart.
Oh, yeah. There we go. So let's all overthink together. Brady, what's your website? Where can we find your new music? What's going on? What are you releasing?
I'm holed up in Nashville right now making a record.
Okay.
And website's bradytubes.com. You can check out updates there. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, BradyTubes, whatever.
What's your Twitter?
BradyTubes.
What's your Instagram?
All BradyTubes. BradyTubes.
Everything?
I got nobody else with my name.
You got it all?
Nice. Yeah.
That's
is there a
awesome.
Brady Troops though?
I have not.
In my phone there is. There's one of my...
Could be.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. It's a cool season. This new record will be have a lot of inspiration from the last year of my life. So
what's the timeline? When does it come out? Do you know?
I'm hoping to come out summer, early fall.
Okay.
So finish it up late March, early April.
Are there songs about Danny on the...
There are no songs about Danny. There may be songs about other Bachelorette related people.
Why did you never go on Paradise?
Well, they never asked me.
Really? Would you have if they would have asked you?
Actually, they asked me and Brett to come down because at the time we were still together.
Yeah.
So we were gonna fly down, but then we broke up.
Oh.
We were sort of gonna be one of the, I think, advisor couples or something like that.
Would you go back if they asked you this summer? Would you think about it?
Paradise?
Yeah.
Dude, I think my mom would kill me.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for libations and
the other thing is like
extracurricular
you have
activities.
to do lots of push-ups and sit-ups, I think, before you go on that show.
Bro, you got time, man. We can do it together.
Do you want to go on that show? That's the real question.
No. I think there was a point in my life where I did. But, well, I'm single, so... You never know.
Danny Hoyt. Ladies.
Yeah.
He's a catch. He's a catch.
In the meantime, you guys can catch BradyTubes.com, BradyTubes on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Kathy, where can people find you till next week?
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly and on Instagram at Kathy Kelly.
Thank you guys for all the Snapchats. You can find me on Snapchat at DannyHoyt47 or on Twitter and Instagram, just Danny Hoyt. Thank you guys for tuning in. We know it's late. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks to Mark in the engineer booth, and we'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Brady, you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.